No one should put this many hours into work. This is not good. And people should not work this hard. They should not do this. It's very painful.
Painful in what sense?
It hurts my brain and my heart.
Elon Musk was once sleeping on his office floor, nearly bankrupt. But now, he's on a mission to take humanity to Mars and beyond. From a tumultuous childhood in South Africa to becoming one of the most influential figures in modern technology, Musk's journey embodies the power of persistence and the will to succeed despite unimaginable challenges. Watch until the end of this video as we reveal the untold stories of Musk's darkest moments and how they fueled his rise to change the world through Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter. Stay with us to uncover how those struggles turned him into the visionary reshaping our future. Elon Musk was born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. His childhood was far from easy. Bullied in school and living in a troubled home.
South Africa, when I was growing up, was just an inherently very violent place. I got punched in the face many times. I almost got beaten to death once. So, many times. And I think if you have not been punched in the face with a fist, you have no idea what it's like.
He told me that when he was a kid, he hated going to school because the other kids liked to follow him home and they would throw soda cans at his head.
I thought I was insane.
Why did you think you were insane?
Because it was clear that other people did not. Their mind wasn't exploding with ideas.
They wouldn't understand you?
I hope they wouldn't find out, because they might put me away or something.
You thought that?
For a second, yes. I'm actually making history tonight as the first person with Asperger's to host SNL.
It means that it was harder for him to fit in.
Musk found solace in books and technology. He developed an early fascination with computers, teaching himself programming by the age of 12. It was during these difficult years that the seeds of his relentless drive were planted.
He just found everything interesting. He wanted to explore everything, knocked his teeth out because he was just falling off stuff.
He's a guy with unlimited ambition. Not a typical type of ambition. It's more like he just needs to be constantly, his mind just needs to be constantly fulfilled. And the problems that he takes on, therefore, need to become more and more complex over time in order to keep him interested.
At age 12, Elon sold his BASIC-based game to PC and Office Technology magazine for approximately $500. This marked his first step into the world of entrepreneurship, but his struggles were only beginning. At 17, Elon left South Africa for Canada, seeking to avoid military service in a regime he did not support. He attended Queen's University in Ontario before transferring to the University of Pennsylvania. There, he pursued studies in economics and physics, setting the stage for his entrepreneurial vision. Musk's first major venture came in the form of Zip2, an online city guide he co-founded with his brother Kimball in 1996.
To Silicon Valley, we had nothing. So we actually lived in the office, and we would sleep on the floor in the evening and go shower at the YMCA the next morning. And then we would be ready to go before some of our employees would arrive, so they wouldn't think we were actually sleeping in the office.
It was an early success, but this wouldn't be his first taste of hardships in the business world.
Starting a business, I'd say, number one is have a high pain threshold. That's it. There's a friend of mine who's got a good saying, which is that starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. First start a company, there's lots of optimism, and things are great. And then, so happiness at first is high. Then you encounter all sorts of issues, and happiness will steadily decline. And then you'll go through a whole world of hurt. And then eventually, if you succeed, and in most cases you will not succeed, then if you succeed, then after a long time, you will finally get back to happiness.
In 1999, Musk founded X.com, an online financial services platform. His goal was to change how people handled money, making banking faster, simpler, and entirely digital. This idea would soon evolve into PayPal, one of the most transformative financial technologies of the new millennium.
Well, we eventually stumbled on this idea of linking money with email, because there were already 300 million people in '99 that had email accounts. And so if you could send money to an email address, I'd send it to your email, and then you get an email saying you've received cash, and then you'd obviously click on the links and do the work necessary to get the money out. And so you didn't need both counterparts to a transaction to be the PayPal network, could be part of it, and then the recipient would sign up as they took the money out. And then we started with the 24 people in our office. Those were the first 24 customers, and they sent money to friends and to other people. We gave these referral bonuses. We gave you $10 if you signed up, and $10 if you got someone to sign up.
But if you're entering anything where there's an existing marketplace against large entrenched competitors, then your product or service needs to be much better than theirs. It can't be a little bit better, because then you put yourself in the shoes of the consumer, and they say, why would you buy it as a consumer? You're always going to buy the trusted brand unless there's a big difference. You should take the approach that you're wrong. That you, the entrepreneur, are wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong.
Musk's leadership at PayPal wasn't without challenges. Despite being the company's co-founder, he was ousted as CEO by the board. But this setback didn't deter him.
We've had our disagreements, but we are friends. I would say for 95% of the time we've known each other, we've been friends.
I bet that 5% was rough, though, knowing both.
It was a little rough. Yeah, things were a little bumpy at one point. I have more tolerance for risk than Peter does. So I was sort of maybe more kind of pedal to the metal, and Peter was like, well, let's be a little cautious here. He may have been right actually. So.
It just grew exponentially when we were, it grew about 7 to 10% compounding daily. And if you're, and even if you start with a small number, if you can get 7 to 10% daily compounding, and after about a month you're at 1,000 people. By that was mid-November of '99. By end of December of '99, it was at 12,000. And by February 3rd, 2000, it was at 100,000. And mid-April 2000, it was up to.
In all of us, we managed to make PayPal work, which is that was the important thing.
He remained a major shareholder and helped steer PayPal to its monumental success. In 2002, PayPal was sold to eBay for $1.5 billion. Musk's share was $180 million, a windfall that gave him the freedom to pursue his wildest dreams. PayPal's success didn't just make him rich, it also created an entrepreneurial force in the tech industry known as the PayPal Mafia.
The PayPal hack was, in a way, we were going to change the world, we weren't going to ask for permission.
The PayPal Mafia, a group of PayPal's key executives and founders, would go on to shape the future of Silicon Valley. Elon Musk, along with Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, and others, would invest in and create some of the most significant companies of our time. Their influence stretched across the tech industry, from social media to AI and beyond. Musk's involvement in PayPal gave him not just financial capital, but the belief that he could change the world on a larger scale. And that's exactly what he set out to do.
I think Elon's super impressive because he's done something outside the IT space.
Right.
And we're sort of in a world that's dominated by IT, by innovation in the world of bits, much less in the world of atoms. And I think that is what makes Elon uniquely charismatic.
I usually describe myself as an engineer. That's basically what I've been doing since I was a kid. I'm interested in things that will or that affect the future in wondrous new technology, where you see it and you're like, wow, how did that even happen? How's that possible?
With $180 million from PayPal's sale in his pocket, Musk set his sights on the final frontier, space. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with the audacious goal of making space travel affordable and eventually colonizing Mars.
I had so many people try to talk me out of starting a rocket company. It was crazy.
What did they tell you?
One good friend of mine collected a whole series of videos of rockets blowing up and made me watch those. He just didn't want me to lose all my money. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure.
But success didn't come easily. SpaceX's first 3 launches were disastrous failures, burning through most of Musk's fortune. His dream of reaching space seemed all but impossible.
We were running on fumes at that point. We had virtually no money.
So a fourth failure.
A fourth failure would have been absolutely game over.
Done. SpaceX bankrupt.
Yeah, it's bad enough to have 3 strikes. Having 4 strikes, it's kaput.
Yet Musk did resonate. SpaceX's 4th launch was a success, earning them a crucial NASA contract.
NASA called and told us that we'd won a $1.5 billion contract. And I couldn't even hold the phone. It's like, I just blurted out, I love you guys.
At the same time, Musk had taken on a leadership role at Tesla, a company aiming to make electric vehicles mainstream. Tesla's path was also littered with failures and near bankruptcy.
Well, I didn't really think Tesla would be successful. I thought we would most likely fail. But I thought that we at least could address the false perception that people had that an electric car had to be ugly and slow and boring like a golf cart.
We rejected for
Holy mackerel. Jesus. We have like an army of cars here. Like, Jesus.
I'm looking like we're going to be able to deliver 4 cars to the sales team.
It's really pedal to the metal here. Like, I mean, you know, each month that passes is literally costs us tens of millions of dollars. I mean, we need to appreciate that. Call people and say, hey, would you like to invest? They'd be angry that we just called. It's like, no, it's not only no, and you know, various expletives.
He was essentially broke.
Oh yeah, in debt, more than broke.
More than broke.
Yeah.
I remember waking up the Sunday before Christmas in 2008 and thinking to myself, man, I never thought I was someone who could ever be capable of a nervous breakdown. But I felt this was the closest I've ever come. Because it seemed pretty dark.
But in 2012, they launched the Model S, which changed the auto industry forever.
They saved you.
Yeah, they did.
Financially and maybe even emotionally.
I'll tell you what, that was definitely helpful. Yeah.
2 days later, on Christmas Eve, Tesla's investors decided to pour in more money.
So you were saved in the period of 3 days.
Yeah.
By 2 completely unexpected events.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Despite his professional success, Musk's personal life was a roller coaster. He experienced failed marriages and the loss of a child. These personal tragedies only added to the immense pressure he was already under.
Unstable, reckless, operatic, doing things that seemed impulsive, un-CEO-ish.
I'm just being me. Creating a company is almost like having a child. So it's sort of like, how do you say your child should not have food?
So once you have the company, you have to feed it and nurse it and take care of it, even if it ruins you.
Yeah.
How did you get through that period of crisis?
Yeah. Can we just break for a second?
Sure.
That make you look forward to waking up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you look forward to the day, look forward to the future. A future where we are a spacefaring civilization out there among the stars, I think that's very exciting.
Elon Musk's ability to persist through both personal and professional hardships is a central theme in his life. He has always remained focused on his vision, no matter the cost. SpaceX would go on to become the first private company to send astronauts to the International Space Station. Tesla Tesla became the world's most valuable car company, revolutionizing the electric vehicle market. Musk's companies are now at the forefront of both space travel and renewable energy. His determination turned seemingly impossible dreams into undeniable reality.
But in terms of things that I think are most likely to affect the future of humanity, I think AI is probably the single biggest item in the near term that's likely to affect humanity. So it's very important that we have the advent of AI in a good way. That is something that if you could look into the crystal ball and see the future, you would like that outcome, because it is something that could go wrong, as we've talked about many times, and so we really need to make sure it goes right.
2022, Musk acquired Twitter for $44 billion, rebranding it as X. His vision? To create an everything app, a platform for social networking, payments, and commerce, all rolled into one. But it's still in its early days, and challenges abound. As he continues to push the boundaries of technology, Musk's influence on the future of humanity remains undeniable. But one thing is certain: his journey is far from over.
So when I was young, I didn't really know what I was going to do when I got older. People kept asking me, but then eventually I thought that the idea of inventing things would be really cool. And the reason I thought that was because I read a quote from Arthur C. Clarke, which said that a sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, and that's really true. If you go back, say 300 years, the things that we take for granted today would be you'd be burned at the stake for. Being able to fly, that's crazy. Being able to see over long distances, being able to communicate, having effectively with the internet a group mind of sorts, and having access to all the world's information instantly from almost anywhere on the earth. This is stuff that really would be magic, or would be considered magic in times past. But I think the overarching point I want to make is that you guys are the magicians of the 21st century. Don't let anything hold you back. Imagination is the limit, and go out there and create some magic. Thank you.
Elon Musk's life is a story of overcoming immense odds, taking on risks that no one else dared to, and relentlessly pursuing his vision of a better future. From PayPal to Tesla to SpaceX and now X, Musk has shown the world what's possible when you never give up on your dreams. The road ahead may be filled with challenges, but if Musk's past is any indication of the future, there's no limit to what Elon Musk can achieve.